Bitcoin is breaking out right now, pumping past 71,000, heading to that 72,000. And altcoins, at least some of them right now, are pumping along with it. One of these are Caspa, another one's PNG, another one's Stacks, and Orange are all having massive pumps right now off this pump from Bitcoin, right? So are we headed into the altcoin season that everyone keeps asking for? Personally, I still think that this summer has a long way to go before we see a true altcoin season, but anything's possible. We saw massive inflows to the ETFs yesterday, taking over $800 million of Bitcoin into their ETFs, which is the second largest wave of income or inflow, right, into the Bitcoin ETFs since back in the launch date that took Bitcoin from 37 all the way to 73. So people are speculating now maybe this second wave is going to take us past 100K. Now, I have no doubt that at some point we're going to cross 100K, and I think we're going to do that sometime this year in 2024, right? But could this still be the moment right now? That's what everybody wants to know. Do I load up on altcoins right now? Well, I don't know. I don't have that information for you. Nobody knows. Nobody has a crystal glass ball, right? This is why I buy during the red days, during the times when nobody's talking about altcoins, during the time that nobody wants to buy, during the time that nobody's watching videos, right? When you see the viewership on YouTube go down, that's when you know most people are kind of just not paying attention anymore. And that's probably that's a buy signal for me to start dollar cost averaging into some positions, because at some point when the viewership comes back, that's when the big pumps happen, right? When you see Bitcoin breaking new all-time highs, you see all the viewership running back to these videos. And that's when you know that a lot of these people missed out on probably dollar cost averaging at lower positions and now are rushing back in, FOMOing into the market. That aside, right now, I still believe that we're going to have a massive altcoin season. We haven't seen anything yet. We're seeing a lot of money from equities. We're seeing a lot of information coming out from traditional markets that it looks like they're hinting at potentially escaping from the equities and into Bitcoin, right? And getting exposure into Bitcoin. It might be through the ETFs. We've seen a few ETFs launching this last couple of months. We've seen Thailand, Australia, London, China, right? We got ones earlier this year, and I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of this in this bull market. We're going to be seeing a lot more countries launching Bitcoin ETFs, Ethereum ETFs, right? And potentially even other altcoin ETFs. But regardless, even though we might not get other altcoin ETFs or not, these altcoins are still going to have major pumps. I honestly think that this little taste of an altcoin season that we got from January to March was just that, just an appetizer. People don't truly know how illogical, how irrational, how far these things can really pump. I mean, we got BNB hitting new all-time highs. We've got Solana doing very well. Caspa, Orange, Stacks, PNG, Bitcoin, Ethereum still fighting that 3,800, right? We don't have the Ethereum ETFs launched yet. They're still in progress of getting their S1's approval. So that being said, things can get very wild very quickly, but there's a lot of times like right now that we go through periods of boring. No matter how much bullish news we get, the prices don't move, people don't pay attention, and that's the biggest mistake that people make right now. I honestly still believe in the real world asset narrative is going to be huge. Ondo, Real, Swarm Markets, a few other ones out there, Proppy, and a lot more. There's a lot more real world assets, right? Chainlink is in real world assets, right? I believe AVAX, Avalanche is also in real world assets, and a lot other ones as well. Real world assets is going to be a massive narrative, right? We got some news that apparently BlackRock is looking to launch their own competitor to the NYSE, basically stock exchange, right, in Texas. So what does that tell me? That tells me that since they're into the tokenization game, since they're into wanting to tokenize everything, I think they're going to launch their own market where they've tokenized all these assets, companies, whatever, and have their own tokenized stock exchange. Basically, I think that's where they're headed. And that is going to be huge for the altcoins, especially the real world asset altcoins like Ondo and the other ones I mentioned. Massive pumpage is going to come from real world assets. I think that's honestly going to be the next big narrative. Obviously, AI is always going to be a big narrative as well. But that being said, real world assets, man, that's where I'm really parking a lot of my money. in real world assets, because even though AI is going to do great, right, the minute the media kind of tops out and kind of just starts to have some bad news, I don't think it's going to be very good for AI. Now, when is that going to happen? I don't know. Is that going to happen in 2 years, 3 years, 6 months? I don't know. I don't follow NVIDIA that closely. But regardless, AI is going to be a powerful narrative. It's going to do good. Crypto gaming is going to have another one, right? The basic crypto narrative that we've seen in the past, but the new ones like real world assets is going to be huge. I want to get your guys' thoughts. Drop it down below. Drop a comment. Hit the subscribe. Hit the like if you haven't already. Join the Crusader Army. I'm Blockchain Crusader. Crusading these blockchains every single day. So make sure you drop your comments down below. Let me know what altcoins you guys have been packing in your bags. What altcoins you want me to do some price predictions on. Let me know your thoughts. Do you guys agree with what I'm saying? What I'm not saying? Let me know down below, guys. Like always, see ya.